moment to rest in your seat. I'm going to pray now, but you don't have to. You can rest a moment or follow your breath in and out of your body, and we'll begin. Our friend, we thank you for this week. We thank you for this gathering of good people. We pray for the burdens on their hearts. We pray for June. We celebrate wholeness that people have found in recovery. And we pray as we move forward that you give us strength. We thank you and we say amen. So, before we begin, I'm going to give you an extra word. Are you ready for a moment? All right. So, that Balm in Gilead song, it's not necessarily our theology, huh? I don't want you to slip too much because I want you to remember that it comes from a different tradition. It comes from people searching for their physical freedom. So when they spoke of Gilead, one of the things they were speaking of is a place in which they would no longer be enslaved. And that dream kept their hope and kept their strength alive. Right? So even if you don't believe the song, you can respect that, right? So it turns out that even superheroes make mistakes. I know you might not believe me. After all, when it comes to Superman, super is right in the name. Except that Superman is also Clark Kent. Clark Kent has one job: report the news of Metropolis. Except whenever news is happening, Clark Kent is nowhere to be found. What about Peter Parker? Teacher, science researcher, but his major job is photographer for the Daily Bugle, a New York tabloid. Parker's boss, Jonah Jameson, wants more than anything for him to take a picture of Spider-Man. And for years, Peter Parker doesn't do that. Then, in 2006, in the Civil War storyline, he decides to disclose that he is Spider-Man in order to help an effort for the superheroes to become government employees instead of independent contractors. Unfortunately, when Jonah Jameson finds out that Peter Parker has secretly been Spider-Man all this time, getting a paycheck from the Daily Bugle, he fires Parker on the front page of the Daily Bugle the next day. Not the best outcome. When we consider wholeness, we sometimes imagine something pristine, a cake with perfect frosting, a field of gleaming snow without a single footprint. In that way, we kind of relate wholeness to perfection. We imagine that to be whole is somehow functionally related to being perfect. We imagine that Peter Parker can embrace his secret side and live in a new kind of wholeness. Sometimes it's not that easy. Being human is a complex experience all of the time. Does that sound familiar? Yeah. Maurice Friedman, the religious philosopher and biographer, notes that ancient Jewish wisdom relates that wholeness we seek relates to the necessities of being human. Friedman also says that our true wholeness is not the perfection of our immortal soul, but the completion of our creative task. In other words, we mean something distinct from perfection when we talk about wholeness. Our wholeness may be more reflected in the idea of completing our creative task as humans than that of an immortal soul that is sullied and then somehow rehabilitated. As Unitarian make that created task more than one way. The task we create for ourselves to do, or the task that we believe is our very own destiny. Both of these call for us to seek more than easy answers. We should embrace our humanity and affirm that imperfection is part of wholeness. In our process of both becoming who we are meant to be and doing what we feel that we are meant to do. There's often discussion at junctures like these of our purpose being embodied by the intersection of what brings us joy and what the world needs. I'm not disputing that as a solid piece of wisdom, but I do think that sometimes our created task or purpose is sometimes represented in smaller, more precious moments. For example, in the second month of nursing school, perhaps not mythical, the professor gave the students a quiz. The last question stumped most people in the class. It read, "What is the name of the woman who cleans the school?" All the students had seen the cleaning woman several times. She was tall, dark-haired, in her 50s. But how would any of them know her name? Before class ended, one student asked if the last question would count toward their grade. You've asked that question before. That's why you're laughing. Absolutely, said the professor. In your careers, you will meet many people. All are significant. They deserve your attention and care, even if all you do is smile and say hello. The students never forgot that lesson. They also learned her name was Dorothy. On a personal level, individual purpose and room for mistakes might begin to make sense to you, even though you may sometimes assume that grace to make mistakes and experience them as part of the entirety, the wholeness of being human, is for others mostly, but not for you. This is the moment for you to let that possibility sink in. The rest of the week will likely make demands on your time and on your patience. It will suggest to you that you are not working hard enough or making enough of a difference. This gathering matters because it is resistance to that tired indictment. You are enough. The way you are human is an expression of your wholeness. Louise Erdrich, the indigenous poet, explores some of these connections in her poem, Advice to Myself. She says, "Leave the dishes. Let the celery rot in the bottom drawer of the refrigerator, and an earthen scum harden on the kitchen floor. Leave the black crumbs in the bottom of the toaster. Throw the cracked bowl out, and don't patch the cup. Don't patch anything. Don't mend. Buy safety pins. Don't even sew on a button. Let the wind have its way, then the earth that invades its dust, and then the dead foaming up in gray rolls underneath the couch. Talk to them. Tell them they are welcome. Don't keep all the pieces of the puzzles, or the tiny doll shoes in pairs. Don't worry who uses whose toothbrush, or if anything matches at all, except one word to another, or a thought. Pursue the authentic. Decide first what is authentic, then go after it with all your heart. The place you don't even think of cleaning out. That closet stuffed with savage moments. Don't sort the paper clips from screws from saved baby teeth, or worry if we're all eating cereal for dinner again. Don't answer the telephone ever. Or weep over anything at all that breaks. Pink molds will grow within those sealed cartons in the refrigerator. Accept new forms of life. And talk to the dead. The dead who drift in through the screened windows, who collect patiently on the tops of food jars and books. Recycle the mail and don't read it. Don't read anything except what destroys the insulation between yourself and your experience, or what pulls down, or what strikes at, or what shatters this ruse you call necessity. We can know that we are meant for more than chasing a myth of perfection, and sometimes we still forget that our human longings, frustrations, fears, and dreams are all part of what it means to exist as a human and do it together. That's one of the interesting things about being interconnected. I can try to speak to you about the wholeness of you as a person and sort of compare it and contrast it to the wholeness of the community, but some of the time, it's the very same thing. We can't be in conversation with each other, or we can be in conversation with each other about the things that are and aren't, about everything that we are and aren't. And we can be in conversation about how those ways serve us or hurt us in our quest to be in community. We need to do it in Moscow. We need to do it in our congregations all over. We need to do it everywhere. One example of human wholeness comes from my friend, the Reverend Erin Walter. She lives in Austin, Texas, and she's in a couple of great bands. But she says this about practicing with Butch County, the band of hers that I love. I even got to go to one of their practices in the fall. She says, "I'm so grateful to be songwriting now after years, even decades of wishing that was something I could do. 2 weeks ago, my new band did some multi-track DIY recording for the first time in the Episcopal Church where we rehearse. It was hard playing bass and singing at the same time, simultaneously trying to play right and also sing with gusto and passion. At one point in the moment, I forgot the lyric, 'Please don't forget to sing.' Ha! Another time, I started the key line of my favorite chorus, just a hair too late. And I guess to make up for being late, I sang it with more intensity and feeling. That little imperfection is now, hands down, my favorite part of the track. Imperfect singing, our broken hallelujah, is often our most powerful. It stands out. To be powerfully and entirely yourself, friends, means bringing all of the complexity of wholeness, of cracks in the veneer, of mistakes, and realizing that none of these make you less worthy of love, of being recognized as valuable, and worthy of honor and respect. Reverend Amy Beltane affirms that by revealing that there's a secret key to resilience. Despite rumors to the contrary, we are not alone. The open secret is that you are not alone in your weakness, your fear, your anger, your failures. You are not the only one who is sad and confused at times, or self-absorbed at times. We all hide our weak sides, our insecurities, our shameful urges, but we all have them. I'll tell you my secret, she says. Just like other humans, I am imperfect. Just like you, I worry and fret over things I can't control. I get scared and feel inadequate to the tasks before me. For all of my strengths, I am also a vulnerable person who sometimes needs to stay in bed and weep. Sometimes needs help. When we keep this secret from each other, we make it unsafe to be our authentic, wise, and wonderful self. Does that make sense to you? Yeah, we need to be soft with each other. We must also take into account that resisting pressure to be perfect is actually countercultural. Perfection is a manipulative standard meant to put you in the position of always doing more and working harder in order for you to feel that you are okay enough. You are good. You are loved. You could use a little work, and we're in this together. We must remember that we have less practice than we ought at recognizing ourselves as the human ones. Adrienne Rich reminds us about this in the process of learning to practice the fullness of our lives in Transcendental Etude. She says, no one ever told us we had to study our lives. Make of our lives a study as if learning natural history or music, that we should begin with the simple exercises first and slowly go on trying. The hard ones practicing until strength and accuracy become one with the daring to leap into transcendence. We must take the chance to leap and of breaking down the wild arpeggio or faulting the full sentence of the fugue. And the fact that we can't live like that, we take on everything at once before we've even begun to read or mark time. We're forced to begin in the middle of the hard movement, the ones already sounding as we were born. She says, look, it doesn't start easy and get harder. It just starts. It's understandable that you're challenged. It's important that we remember that we remind each other that struggling to do things that are hard, in hard times, when many kinds of folks are under attack because they don't comply with the white patriarchy, is neither surprising nor a failure on your part. Our shared question still remains, what is a faithful response? One of the things we must do is rely on our interconnectedness as an expression of our wholeness. We must re-examine often and check for the ways that perfectionism tries to creep in and separate us not only from each other, but from the gifts of our wholeness. We can be a community that embraces both the complexity of being human and the abundance of our wholeness. It's true that sometimes when we make mistakes, they aren't just theoretical. We make them with each other. But we have covenant to keep, we have amends to make, and we have futures to build. I'm going to close today with something I wrote, not because I have a big head, but because it matches the sermon. And it's also a sneak preview for you from my book that's coming out this summer. It'll be available at General Assembly. Bring your broken hallelujah here. Bring the large one that's beyond repair. Bring the small one that's too soft to share. Bring your broken hallelujah here. I know that people have told you that before you can give, you have got to get yourself together. They overstated the value of perfection by a lot. Or they forgot you are the gift. We all bring some broken things, songs and dreams and long lost hopes. But here and together, we reach within. As a community, we begin again. And from the pieces, we will build something new. There is work that only you can do. We wait for you.